Are you aware that right here in the UK, we have one of the most haunted places in the entire world? Yeah, this country is absolutely crawling with ghosts. And if you've been following my videos for a while, then you'll know that I've covered quite a lot of them. But this is by far the most haunted place that I have ever visited. And just listen to this, because the story only gets darker as we go on. Deep within an ancient forest, there is a weathered stone bridge which stretches over a dark and murky lake. And those who dare to cross it tell tales of a ghostly woman who haunts the area. She is said to be the ghost of a young mother named Margaret, who was accused of being a witch and then drowned on this very bridge. Back in 1645, some say her ghost still lingers nearby, forever searching for her lost daughter, and she will stop at nothing to take revenge on those who did her wrong. Locals believe that the presence is so strong here that no one should ever walk across the bridge alone after dark, or else they may never be seen again. So let me explain exactly what happened to poor old Margaret and why she is so angry. As I stood on the bridge, I noticed that it wasn't actually that nice. There were patches of dampness, moss and lichen growing on the stones. It had clearly been here for centuries, but I couldn't help but wonder how many people had crossed this bridge and disappeared without a trace. Now, as you can imagine, this is a pretty remote part of England, and getting to the bridge can be a little bit difficult. You have to pass through the remains of an iron gate, leave the modern world behind, and then trek through some seriously thick woodland before you finally get here. The lake itself is man-made, and was created when they blew up some of the local hills during the Second World War. At first glance, it looks absolutely stunning. Look a little closer, and you can see that it's incredibly dark and murky. I wouldn't recommend going for a swim. The bridge also goes by another name, the Naked Man's Bridge. And the reason for this is truly terrifying. If you want to see the ghost of Margaret, all you have to do is walk into the lake up to your waist. Hold your arms above your head and stay perfectly still until she pats you on the shoulder. It is said that she will only do this to men. If she does, then it means that she wants you to lead her to her daughter's grave. If you agree, she will guide you to her resting place. Okay, so let's talk about the story. After all, this is a tale that has been told around campfires for hundreds of years now. Just like all good ghost stories, it gets more and more unbelievable as time goes on. In 1645, Margaret lived in a small village not too far from here. She was known for using herbal remedies to treat various ailments. And because of this, people started saying that she was a witch. Suddenly, the local townspeople were accusing her of all sorts of terrible things. They said that she was using black magic to harm their children, and that she was stealing their livestock with the help of the devil. Of course, these claims were completely false, but in a desperate attempt to save themselves, her husband and 2 sons testified against her. It is said that Margaret was taken to the town square and stripped naked as punishment. But as she was being paraded around, she managed to escape her captors and fled into the nearby woods. She ran as fast as she could, but her pursuers weren't far behind. They caught up with her at the lake and dragged her to the nearby bridge. They tied a heavy millstone around her neck and then pushed her into the water. As onlookers watched, Margaret struggled in the dark depths until the life was literally drained out of her. Then her body was left floating in the lake for everyone to see. Some say that Margaret's spirit has been haunting the area ever since, and this includes the bridge, the Naked Man's Bridge. And if that's not enough to put you off walking across it, then I don't know what is. So, obviously I had to give this place a try. And when I got to the other side, I swear that it was noticeably colder than where I had just been. I asked my friends if they felt the same, and they said yes. This was definitely a big drop in temperature. Now, as I walked back, I decided to try and make contact with the ghost of Margaret. I didn't want her to come to me, so I went to her instead. I'm not gonna lie, it was absolutely freezing. I could feel the temperature drop as soon as I stepped onto the bridge, and as I got further into the lake, it became more and more difficult to keep my balance. So I took my shoes and socks off and waded in deeper. Then suddenly, I felt something brush against my leg. I nearly jumped out of my skin. I looked down, but there was nothing there. Just as I was about to call it quits, I felt a cold spot on my neck, as if someone had just put a hand there. Then I heard footsteps behind me. I turned to see what was going on, but there was no one there. I mean, there isn't anyone else crazy enough to do this, right? Well, as I stood there trying to regain feeling in my feet, I felt a cold spot on my shoulder. It was at that moment that I knew I needed to get out of the lake. And when I finally pulled myself out, I realized just how cold I had become. My teeth were chattering uncontrollably, and I started shaking like a leaf. My friends said that I looked like I had just seen a ghost. This place really is one of the most haunted places in the UK, and I would suggest staying well clear if you don't want to meet the ghost of Margaret. But if you're brave enough, then perhaps you might get lucky and see her for yourself. That said, though, if you've ever visited this place, then let me know what you think. Is it haunted? Or is it all just a load of rubbish? And if you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to hit the like button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.